everyone, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel, and when I say welcome back, I truly mean welcome back because it has been a while since I've done a plan with me video. I skipped last month because I was on a break. If you're curious to see how my February bullet journal did end up looking, I posted a little flip through sort of update video. It was really chill and casual, but I did just show you guys some of the spreads that I ended up doing, so if any of you guys were curious, check that video out. But today, of course, I am doing an actual plan with me for March 2020. I'm really looking forward to sitting down and planning because I haven't, sat down and filmed and shared spreads with you guys in a little bit, so it's gonna be fun. Before we get right into all of the fun spreads this month, I did just want to say a quick thank you to Squarespace for kindly sponsoring today's video. I know a lot of you guys have many dreams and goals and talents and side gigs, and websites are definitely an important step to supporting all of those goals. So with Squarespace, you can build the perfect online website to help you out and push you in the right direction. But I will talk a little bit more about them later in the video. Without further ado, grab your notebooks and your pens and your markers and a cup of tea. It feels like it's been so long since I've said that, but let's get planning. All right, March 2020. So those of you who have been following me for a while now or have seen a lot of my previous bullet journal videos will know that it's become sort of a tradition that my March theme is green. I don't know how it ended up happening that way, but pretty much all of the previous March bullet journal setups that I've done have been green. So of course I had to continue this tradition, and the theme are these tropical leaves. I think these types of leaves are called monstera leaves, but yeah, they're like big tropical leaves, and I really love the way these look. I actually want to get one of these plants for my apartment. I've done a tropical leaf theme before, but those ones were more palm tree leaves, so I thought this would be something a little bit different. I know I'm not the first person to doodle these types of leaves, so don't come for me, but I did try to put my own twist on it and change up the color scheme a little bit. Obviously we have the classic green, but I also threw in some beige as well as a pop of like this mustardy yellow color, just because I like that warm aesthetics vibe. And in terms of actually doodling these leaves, they're really simple to draw. You guys know I'm a sucker for a quick and easy type of doodle, so I started out with a pencil sketch sort of like a teardrop peach shape, and then I go in with the fine liner after and do those dents in the leaf and sort of follow along with the pencil outline that I have. And I changed it up. Sometimes I drew that center stem, sometimes I actually drew the leaf with the color, and I think that gives it a bit more visual interest, especially on the cover page, so it's not just like a black outline with color on the inside. I sort of switched up from time to time. But yeah, we are just coloring it in. I actually chose a couple different types of markers. One of them is a Tombow dual brush pen, and then the other one is this dual tip pen from Crayola Signature Collection, as well as my classic super tips. You guys know I love these, but I will link all of the supplies that I end up using down below as usual, and I'll try to find the specific color names so that you guys can see if you have it in your collection. But any green will do. Actually, I feel like this pattern would look good even if you switched it out and didn't do just green leaves. Like, it could be fun to do sort of rainbow palette or super pastel colors. I think the shape of the leaves will lend itself to that. And I just went for a very simple cursive on the center that says March. Oh yeah, I also added those little polka dots, which I did to fill space because it wasn't a big enough space to draw another leaf, but I like that sort of like abstract look anyways. Now, last month for February, I did my bullet journal setup off camera. I didn't do a plan with me video, but if you watch the flip through, then you will have seen that I tried experimenting a little bit, and I actually drew the calendar spread on the left side of the cover page. Normally, if you've seen my previous plan with me videos recently, I just do a regular standard full page calendar spread, but when I have not so busy months, I feel like I'm gonna end up going for this because A, it saves paper, and also I like the look of the cover page being next to the calendar. So yes, I did do this calendar on the other side of the spread. The size of the boxes, as you can see, they're a little long and skinny, so definitely would not work if you have a lot of events and stuff to write down in your calendar, but this month is relatively chill for me, so I think this one would work well. The size of the boxes are 3 by 5, I believe, and it fits perfectly right in the center of that page. So we'll see how this goes. I think for next month I'll have to go back to the 2-page spread because it's a bit busier, but for now this works for me. And I just, did colors of the dots to match the cover page and added some washi tapes as well. You guys know I love me some washi tape. And to finish it off, I doodled a couple leaves in the corner just to decorate it. Oh, something else to note is that I would not recommend this type of spread if you have really big handwriting. I have relatively small handwriting, so I can fit usually all my main events in small calendar boxes like this, but if you have a larger handwriting, then I would definitely go for the 2-page spread instead. Alright, so for my trackers this month, I decided to try something a little bit new. I tried a lot of new spreads this month, so we'll see how those end up going, but I was feeling very crafty and creative. So I actually did my trackers split over 2 pages. You'll see what I mean, but for the past year, I would say I did my individual habit trackers all on 1 page, and it would be 3 by 3, so there was 9 individual trackers. But recently I've only really felt the need to track 6 specific habits, so I don't need, the extra 3. So instead of doing 9 on 1 page, I did 6 spread across the half, and then I did my mood tracker on the bottom half of the double page spread as well. So it's a little bit different. I mean, it's essentially the same concept, but just arranged differently on these pages. And for my mood tracker, I just drew a bunch of those leaves since they were so quick and easy to do. And what will happen is that I will color them in according to the mood. I have a nice little legend that denotes which color means what mood. And this is something that I saw in a comment recently. I went back to one of my old videos and someone suggested that for my mood tracker, I do the happier moods as a darker color so that they stand out in your bullet journal, so that you're not seeing like your sadder days first, if that makes sense. Because before I would do like darker color means sad mood, lighter color means happier mood. But obviously when you're looking through your bullet journal, the darker colors stand out a bit more. So, I thought maybe it's not the greatest idea to emphasize those bad days, and I reversed it. Now the happier days are going to be the darker colors. It's still a little bit foreign to me because in my mind, I think I just automatically associate bad days with dark colors, but we're trying to flip that, so we'll see how that turns out. Nonetheless, I did just doodle a bunch of these leaves in various sizes and orientations and twisted and flipped them all around. Make sure you sketch out so you have enough space. I perfectly fit the 31 in here, so it's no biggie, but I've definitely had times when I ran out of space if I didn't sketch it, so sometimes pencil sketch is good. I am just finishing up outlining all of those Monstera leaves. I think that's what it's called. Watch it not actually be called that. I probably should have looked it up before starting this voiceover, but if I am completely wrong, you can let me know in the comments. Anyway, nonetheless, that's what we're gonna call them. I drew so many of these leaves, I think I can draw them in my sleep now, but I promise they are pretty easy. I know they look a little complex at first, but you will get the hang of it. I believe in you. Alright, I numbered off each of the leaves so that you can see what leaf equals what day. We have the legend at the top there with the colors, and then on to my next page. Oh no, I outlined the cursive, my handwriting in the various colors just to give out a little pop to the titles. Now moving on to the next page, I am bringing back my monthly playlist. I didn't do it for January, and obviously February I was on a break, so I didn't get to share too much of my music, but we are back. There's been a lot of good music released, so I wanted to do a little playlist spread, and as usual, I'm gonna make a Spotify playlist with all of these songs on it, so you can go check them out. And actually, you can follow me on Spotify. I feel like a lot of people always ask me about the music that I listen to and what song is this, if I play it on Instagram and stuff, so if you follow me on Spotify, that's the best way to keep up with what I am currently listening to. In terms of the spread, I had this tan paper. It's sort of like a tan color with a grid pattern on top, and I thought it matched perfectly because I was using that taupe color in my color palette this month. So I ripped that up sort of scrapbook style, placed it at the top, and I also wrote out playlist with the green markers that I was using this month, and I created an ombre effect, cut that out and placed it on top of the taupe paper. I really love the way this looks, the top of this spread. I think it looks really cute. Obviously, if you don't have these same like scrapbook type of paper, you can either print out a pattern that matches your theme, or you don't need to include the paper at all. I think it would look cute even with just the title, but I wanted to spice things up a little, you know? Now for the actual songs, I drew the boxes a bit scattered and random. Normally I would do it sort of like all in a column, but I figured because the leaves were all over the place and also scattered, I think these scattered boxes would look really good with the spread, so that's what I did. Oh yeah, this is me being very indecisive about where to place the washi tape, but we figured it out in the end, guys. I'm not gonna list out all the songs, but trust me, these songs are bops. We have a bunch of different types of songs, styles of songs. We have some whole albums. I couldn't include the whole album, but I did list out some of my favorite songs from these specific albums. But again, I will list the Spotify playlist down below. If any of you guys have song suggestions that you think I would enjoy, let me know in the comments down below. I always love discovering new music through you guys. It's my favorite part about making these spreads. So let me know what you guys are currently listening to on loop, and I will see. Maybe they'll be added to next month's playlist. Alright, so for the spread next to it, I decided to do a simple quote page, since normally I love doing these quote pages, but normally I put them next to the cover page, but since the calendar was taking up the space, I thought this page would be perfect for a nice quote. And this one, it has to do with plants, since we are going with a leaf plant theme. It says, "Keep watering yourself, you're growing." And I didn't do anything super fancy. I mean, I just wrote it out in this like handwritten cursive-y font and drew one of the leaves in the corner, and I bordered it as well, and that was pretty much it. Nothing too crazy. But I think it looks really nice, and I like that there's a lot of white space in it. Lastly, we are doing the first weekly spread for March, and we're doing something a little funky. So I know you guys have seen me do a Dutch door spread, but cutting the page vertically. This time I decided to cut the page horizontally, so I have my weekly events all along the bottom, and that way, no matter where I flap the page at the top, you can see the weekly events at the bottom. And this actually works out really well because you do get quite a lot of planning space at the top for to-do lists. So I split them up into 2 columns per page, as you can see. So this is so hard to explain. You guys can see what I'm doing. Each flap has 2 days on it, and you're gonna have 1 extra. I just put an extra section for notes, but I feel like this spread is pretty efficient, if I do say so myself, because you do have a lot of planning space for to-do lists, and then you have your weekly events at the bottom. But it's new to me. I feel like it's like a hidden cat door or something at the bottom. In terms of the actual headers, I just drew the leaves, which is where I'm going to place the numbers, and then a little highlight for where the days of the week are going. The vertical Dutch door spreads are some of my favorites to do. I always love doing them. So I guess now I have another Dutch door spread in my arsenal. I think it's almost like a bullet journal magic trick. I love doing them. If you haven't tried one out yet, I highly recommend you test it out and see how it works. Alright guys, before I show you the final flip through of my March 2020 bullet journal setup, I did want to take this time to quickly talk a little bit about Squarespace and how they're helping people achieve their goals and their dreams. I know that so many of you guys are very talented at a variety of different things and you have your own dreams and goals, but I feel like regardless of what your dreams are, websites are definitely a really important thing these days in order to make those goals real. Whether you want to make your own personal website for a portfolio portfolio maybe, or make an online store to sell something as a side gig, or maybe you just want to build your online presence. Squarespace is definitely the perfect all-in-one platform to do so. My website, AmandaRachLee.com, is actually built on Squarespace, and it's just super easy, especially since I'm dealing with a lot of things like images of my artwork. Squarespace has automatic image scaling, so your images will always look right and high quality, and there's also easy importing, so you can import images straight from your Instagram or your Flickr, stuff like that you just don't want to have to deal with or worry about. Squarespace has you covered, and if you do ever have any issues, they have 24/7 customer support, so there's always someone there to help you out. I know building websites can be very overwhelming, but trust me, you got this. So if you have been contemplating starting your own website or portfolio or online store, whatever it is, I highly recommend you try out Squarespace. It can never hurt to have something that speaks about you. So if you want to try it out for yourself, head to squarespace.com/AmandaRachLee for free trial and for 10% off your first purchase of a domain or a website. Now back to the flip through. Here is the final flip through of my March 2020 tropical Monstera, still unconfirmed whether that's what it's actually called, leaf theme, but I feel like I tried out a lot of new spreads this month, so let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. All right, my little doodles, so that was my March 2020 bullet journal setup. I hope you guys enjoyed. Usually this would be the time that I showcase your recreations from last month, but seeing as there was no Plan With Me last month, I'm just gonna showcase some cool spreads from you guys, or some cool things that you guys have been tagging me on Instagram, so here you go. As usual, if you do recreate this setup or any of my previous setups, be sure to tag me on Instagram at AmandaRachLee, and you can also use our hashtag Lil Doodles, so that I can lurk and see what you guys are creating every single month. I love to see how you guys put your own twists on my setups. It's like my favorite part of every month. So I can't wait to do that. You can also follow me on Instagram to keep up with any other doodles and bullet journal spreads that I end up posting this month. But I think that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys have a great day and a great month, actually, the month of March. Keep doodling, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye everyone.